The Newshour Special Edition.
Namaskar, good evening. You're watching the special edition of the Newshour and I'm Swati Joshi. It's an all-out war between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. This after the LG sought a report from the Chief Secretary over the 2.5-year delay on part of the Vigilance Department in acting on the CVC inquiry report into the construction of additional classrooms. Going for the offensive, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Mr. Sisodia rained fire on the BJP. He said that BJP wants to keep the nation uneducated. Calling his Delhi school model Shandar, the Delhi Education Minister asserted that BJP's only aim is to shut down government-run schools in the national capital as they did in states where they are ruling. The BJP has hit back, alleging that the Aam Aadmi Party government, which claims to transform the education sector, is in fact neck deep in corruption. BJP has alleged that even toilets were counted as classrooms to fudge the data. Listen in.
नई सीबीआई रेड कराने से पहले जरा ये भी बताएं ये लोग कि जब आप कहते थे पार्टी में चंदा गड़बड़ है 6-7 साल पहले, उस पे भी बड़ी रेड कराई थी, उस पे भी बड़े थाने में चलवाए थे, उसका बताओ, उसका क्या हुआ? आपने सीएम के ऑफिस में रेड कराई थी, बोले बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार है यहाँ पे, उसका बताओ, उसका क्या हुआ? उसमें कुछ निकला? नहीं निकला। कुछ कर पाए उसमें? नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि फर्जी था। 40 एमएलए के खिलाफ कराया, उसमें क्या निकला? बताओ देश को। ये हर वक्त सीबीआई ईडी रखते रहते हैं ना, थोड़ा स्कूल भी रख लो, ज्ञान हो जाएगा थोड़ा सा। हमको स्कूल बनवाने आते हैं, हमको स्कूल चलाने आते हैं, हमको स्कूल खुलवाने आते हैं, हम वो करते रहेंगे, आपको जो आता है वो कर लो।
इस शिक्षा के मामले में भी अब मनीष सिसोदिया ने एक बड़ा घोटाला किया है। कमरे बनाने में घोटाला किया है, नियमों की धज्जियां उड़ाई हैं। जो टॉयलेट्स बनाए गए हैं उनको भी कमरा गिनकर ये लोग बता रहे हैं कि इतने कमरे बने हैं। फिर सब स्टैंडर्ड काम हुआ है। सीबीसी की रिपोर्ट में साफ लिखा है कि पीडब्ल्यूडी ने ये कहा है कि 23 स्कूलों में हमने रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग लगाए है, लेकिन जांच में पाया गया सिर्फ 2 स्कूलों में। तो ये सारे काम जो भ्रष्टाचार के हुए हैं, गलत काम हुए हैं, सब स्टैंडर्ड हुए हैं, छात्रों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ हुआ है।
Well, the war of words has escalated since yesterday. Claim versus claim fight was triggered soon after the LG questioned inaction, or rather delay, over the alleged irregularities. Listen into the war of words between the Union Minister Anurag Thakur and the Chief Minister of the National Capital, Arvind Kejriwal.
शराब स्कैम में आम आदमी पार्टी का चेहरा बेनकाब हुआ है, ऊपर से नीचे तक भ्रष्टाचार में डूबी हुई है। और मनीष शराब स्कैम मिनिस्टर जो पाठशाला की बात तो करते हैं, खोलते नहीं, मधुशाला जगह जगह खोलने का काम करते हैं, जवाब कोई देते नहीं है। 5 दिन बीत गए, एक का भी जवाब नहीं दे पाए क्योंकि घोटाले पर इनके पास जवाब कोई नहीं।
एलजी साहब ने अब स्कूलों पे भी इंक्वायरी शुरू कर दी, तो कह रहे हैं भाई स्कूलों के बेसिकली तो रोकना है, स्कूल रुक जाएं, अस्पताल रुक जाएं, जितने अच्छे काम हो रहे हैं वो रुक जाएं। तो सब कह रहे हैं ये गुजरात की वजह से हो रहा है। गुजरात में जैसे जैसे हमारा ग्राफ बढ़ता जा रहा है, पागलपन छाया हुआ गुजरात में। अगर आज हम गुजरात चुनाव अनाउंस कर देना भाई गुजरात चुनाव हम नहीं लड़ेंगे, ये सारी इंक्वायरी बंद हो जाएगी, सारी ईडी बंद, सीबीआई बंद, सब खत्म। उसी की वजह से हो रहा है ये।
Let's open this up and go across to our guests. But before that, remember, the political showdown is intensifying, not just now over the classroom gate scam, but also over the liquor gate scam. Today, the Aam Aadmi Party members protested outside BJP headquarters, while BJP protested demanding Manish Sisodia's resignation. BJP workers, in fact, also raised slogans like "Gali Gali mein shor hai, Manish Sisodia chor hai, Manish Sisodia ko bahar nikalo." Let's take some questions to our guests. We have Dr. Syed Zafar Aslam, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, joining us in the broadcast. What's happening in the national capital? Liquor gate scam, now this classroom gate scam. The LG has questioned the delay over the CVC report, which talks about irregularities. The allegation is that the cost was increased. It escalated to 90% in the guise of richer specifications. There was no tender called for, and in fact the allegation also is that data was fudged. Even toilets were counted as classrooms. Ravi Srivastava.
Swati, I recall one sentence spoken by Mr. Manish Sisodia today. ये भाजपा अनपढ़ और गंवारों की पार्टी है और ये चाहते हैं they want that the entire nation should remain uneducated. And what AAP is doing in Delhi or Punjab or what they are promising everywhere to improve the government-owned schools. That's the main thing. The 80% children in this country go to government school. But what BJP wants it that they want to encourage the private schools.
Ravi Srivastava, is this BJP's report or is this CVC's report?
It is the report of the Edufis, that is the agency which has done the survey that they have closed down 72,000 schools in last 7 years. And as far as CVC is concerned, I am well aware. I have spent 30 years in the government service. I know very well it's a toothless body. Toothless body. Nothing more than that.
So tell me something. So this, according to you, this toothless body has released a report.
Last 2.5 years,
So you're saying it is a toothless body. So a toothless body has released a report. The report talks about irregularities. Now the LG is asking, why was there a delay of 2.5 years in even looking into the case by the Vigilance Department?
I'll tell you that what ultimately happens in the CVC report, that some bureaucrat, some babu will either get some demotion or he will lose some 1 or 2 increments. That's the ultimate thing.
Okay, so onus is on babus. CVC is a toothless institute according to Ravi Srivastava, and the onus is on babus. Bureaucrats ko blame kar do. Mr. Islam, respond.
Well, let me tell you very candidly that the whole nation is surprised that AAP, who is the outcome of India against corruption in 2013 and 12 and 13, and finally they made it the government in 2013 on the back of India against corruption movement. And today, see, they are following the footsteps of Congress party, a party of scams and scamsters. And today, every day, we are finding something or the other, and the corruption which has been committed by the AAP ministers. The liquor scam, the now school gate scam. I mean, how can you count toilet as classroom? See, the cost overrun, the cost escalation is 53%. I mean, everywhere there's a lot of irregularities, and yet the file was never moved. They never responded. When it was pointed out, they never responded. They were sitting on this file, and now the AAP government will have to do a lot of answering, because there is the government, LG is asking at least provide information.
Okay.
Respond to the question which needed to be answered long back, 2.5 years that you were sitting on it.
But Mr. Islam, the Aam Aadmi Party has always alleged that the centre is not allowing, that the LG is not allowing the Delhi government to function, and that, this time around as well, right after the liquor gate scam, right after the CBI raids, comes this letter, comes to the fore, this CVC report on irregularities, all of it being done only to target the leaders, the ministers of the Aam Aadmi Party government in the national capital. Those are the allegations.
It is absolutely baseless. It is all concocted story to mislead the people. The fact that he is the chief minister for the last 6 or 7, 8 years.
Can I respond?
Yes, right after he answers the question.
He is functioning comfortably, but if he thinks that he may be allowed to do corruption, then he's badly mistaken. LG will definitely ask. He will intervene, because at the end of the day, if Mr. Sisodia or Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is determined to do corruption, we will not let it happen. We will definitely ask them, and it is the responsibility of the Lieutenant Governor, which is simply discharging by asking. Then why they are sitting on something which has been pointed out 2.5 years ago. And just see, just do a back testing, what they had committed and what they are up to.
Okay, Ravi Srivastava, there was cost escalation. Now the BJP says that your government and your party claims to have transformed, the Aam Aadmi Party claims to have transformed the education system, the education sector in the national capital. But despite the cost escalation, lesser number of classrooms were built than what was promised or claimed by the Aam Aadmi Party. Instead of transformation, what is happening is corruption. That's the allegation.
See, any agency can investigate, any agency can inquire. Aam Aadmi Party has never opposed any kind of probe, and it has happened. More than 150 cases have been filed and not one could be proved. I am contented to the extent that Mr. Zafar Islam has not denied that 72,000 schools have been closed. I mean, that's the acceptance he has already made, because he knows it, that his government is only closing the government schools and encouraging the private schools. And what AAP is doing in Delhi is making the government schools better than, far better than even the private schools.
Okay.
And people are appreciating it.
Okay. The model is being appreciated. There's international recognition, Mr. Islam. That has unsettled the BJP also because they are contesting now in Gujarat. That's why BJP is rattled.
See,
Yes, absolutely.
No, that's the allegation. I am not saying that. That's your allegation.
we all know that Mr. Kejriwal stand completely exposed. His government stands exposed. Mr. Sisodia stands exposed because they were there deeply into corruption. And now they have aspiration because they are bunch of power-hungry people. They want to just grab power by whatever means they want to follow. They will, as long as they are able to grab power, they will do it. This is what they have demonstrated everywhere. They have committed something which they have never delivered. They misled people and only for the lust of power. And this is what they want to do in Gujarat. I mean, we are happy. We cannot stop anyone from fighting the election. They can more than welcome to fight the election. But you cannot get away by making this kind of false allegation. That's because we are fighting election in Gujarat. That's why these inquiries are being conducted. These inquiries are being conducted based on certain observations made by the agencies. And the agency will definitely, you will have to respond to those agencies. You were sitting on those files which you should have responded long back.
Now respond to specific charges. Now, enough of the blame game of what BJP is doing and what the AAP's counter is. Now respond to the specific charges. Lesser number of classrooms constructed against the requirement. There were quality issues. There was escalation of cost, and even the work that was carried out was incomplete.
See, these are all in the realm of speculation.
No, it's
Such
part of the
things
report.
are to be.
It's part of the report. That's what.
Swati, report is not a charge. Report is only an observation. Report is not to be responded. Ultimately, what happened? Mr. Zafar, I did not interrupt. I did not interrupt you.
But the CVC report seeks answers.
No, it has got no meaning. I am telling you, because you came out in that excise scam. It is 8,000 crore, 144 crore,
So the investigation is still underway.
And finally, what CBI found? 1 crore, that two sources have said it. They don't have evidence of even 1 crore. They said sources have told them. So it is baseless to respond to these kind of bogus charges. That's what I mean.
But you yourself said it's not a charge. It's not a charge, it's a report. So if there is a report that claims that there are irregularities, why not respond to it? Why not respond to it?
Swati, these are reports, these are not charges by the motivated people.
Okay.
Whose government is this? This is BJP's LG is there.
So if the CVC... Okay, so if the CVC receives a complaint and it is seeking an answer, one has to, absolutely ignore it and not respond to it, Ravi Srivastava? Is that what you're saying?
No, what CVC does it, CVC files a report. On the basis of that, there should be a probe, there should be an inquiry, there should be fixing of the charges. CVC does not, per se, is not a judicial body. They cannot, charge anybody. They are the people who make reports
quick
only.
Rebuttal.
I know it.
Quick rebuttal.
Do it.
Mr. Islam.
Job.
See, I don't know, Mr. Srivastava, what his understanding is about the matter. He must understand that even if the observations were made by the competent authority, and it has been sought by the competent authority that something which they feel is irregularities has been committed or has been done, and they need to answer them, they cannot sit on that. They cannot ignore that. But only when you can ignore, when you know that if you respond, you have absolutely, you will be exposed because you have committed crime.
Okay.
And you don't want to respond. So that is the truth. That these people you will know. That you will know in future.
You know, Ravi Srivastava, that's all the time I have. Unfortunately, I cannot give you more time. Zafar Islam will continue to be with us in debate number 2 as well. Ravi Srivastava.
30 seconds only.
No, Ravi Srivastava, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm completely out of time for this debate, but thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Islam will continue to be with us on debate number 2 as well.